Welcome to New York Yankee Baseball, as today we begin road to see which franchise is the greatest of all time. Today, from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, it is the great New York Yankees roster taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Hello everybody, this is Sports Time Machine bringing you exclusive project of the franchise all-star team in Stratomatic as we take the best of the Baltimore Orioles taking on the best of the New York Yankees. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the cards. I played a series already against the Houston Astros offline. I played the first two games of the Baltimore Orioles games offline. So we'll take a look at the last and final series. Once they're done here, the Yankees will travel to Anaheim to play the Los Angeles Angels, California Angels in Anaheim, and also in Los Angeles. So what I'm doing is I'm using the home ballpark of the opposing pitcher, of the home pitcher. If it's like this is the 1975 Jim Palmer, he gets the Memorial Stadium as his home ballpark. So when the Angels face Frank Tanana, it'll be at the old Anaheim ballpark. And when they play against a modern Angel pitcher, it will be at the new ballpark in Anaheim. So this is going to be basically April 7th of the season. The Yankees come in at 2-3. The Baltimore Orioles come in at 3-2. Yankees are 2-3, second place in the AL East. They're 1-1 on the road, 1-2 versus righties. The Orioles are 3-2. They're in first place in the AL East, 1-1, and they're 1-0 versus left-handers. Whitey Ford on the mound. He has no record. He has played one game. He gave up one earned run in 6 games. Pitchers do not like me in this league. This is going to be a pro offensive league. He went 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 walks, and he struck out 1. Palmer's first start, it was a win. He went 7 innings, gave up 4 hits and a walk. So very effective for these two. For the Orioles, George Sisler has a 5-game hitting streak. Who's hot and who's not? Babe Ruth is hitting .353. He's 6 of 17. He has 4 home runs. Robinson Cano has been hot, playing against righties, hitting .500. He is 5 for 10. Don Mattingly, DH, is hitting .333, 2 for 6. Frank Robinson of the Orioles hitting .294. And Mickey Mantle hitting .316. Who's not, you might say? Greg Nettles hitting .91, 1 for first 11. Paul O'Neill against righties so far has been 2 for 12. Lou Gehrig, surprisingly, 1 of 18, struggling. Manny Machado, 3 for 17. And Paul Blair is 4 for 18. Palmer in his last start was a win. Whitey Ford was a no decision. So both pitchers kind of come in the hot mode. Once again, we bring you to vintage Memorial Stadium, the Yankees and the Orioles. Let's go ahead and give you the teams that are playing today. In the out, here is the defensive alignment for the all-time Orioles. It is going to be Frank Robinson in left, Brooks Robb is Paul Blair in center, and Kenny Singleton gets the start today in right field. He gets a start versus the left-hander. Manny Machado at third. People say it should be Brooks Robinson. I have the best year for Brooks Robinson. I made the best one. Still, Machado's best years were probably with the Orioles. And Machado's defense is as good as advertised, almost better. Ripken at short, Davey Johnson at second, and then that's a split of time. Brian Roberts been getting the chances against righties. Eddie Murray at first, and Chris Hoyles behind the plate. Palmer on the mound, we told you, 1 game, 1 start, 7 innings, and 4 hits. Here's this Yankee lineup, and it's vaunted. Jeter at short, O'Neill's your DH, Gehrig at first, Ruth in right, DiMaggio in center, Mantle in left, Nettles at third, Barra behind the plate, and Robinson Cano is your second baseman. Let's do this from Baltimore. So here is Jeter. He leads off hitting .263. 19 at-bats, has an RBI. So Palmer waits, gets decided. We're playing with mostly super advanced with some advanced thrown in because there's some times where cards are not made for the super advanced game, and it's unfair to play with the ballparks if everyone doesn't have that opportunity. So that has been turned off. So no clutch, there's no ballpark hits. So Hoyles behind the plate sets the target. Palmer waits, and here's the pitch to Jeter. And Jeter, 3-10, base hit Jeter. So Jeter's on the base hit. +2 for Palmer, +1 for Hoyles. Jeter's probably going to be going. Here's Paul O'Neill, 12 at-bats, has a double. And here we go. We're going to try to steal with Jeter and does not get it, so he'll stay put at a 10. So O'Neill the bat. Hoyles puts down the side. Let's put down the Yankees. Let's make sure the options are available. Game preferences, and we'll switch. Yeah, we'll switch Baltimore to playing as the computer. Yankees will be as myself. So here we go. Hoyles behind the plate. Palmer from the stretch. Here's a pitch to O'Neill. And that is going to be a base hit for O'Neill. That's up the gap. Blair's going to play it out of bounds. Jeter to third. The Yankees have second and third with no outs. This Yankee team has struggled. Believe me, they've been a fight for survival mode sometimes, as every team can hit. So they come out hitting. That's good. But here is Lou Gehrig. He has struggled. 18 at bats with a double and an RBI. Hoyles behind the plate puts down the sign. Palmer second and third, nobody out. Pitch to Gehrig. And that is going to be a pop to second. Oh my. And it's out of play. Foul ball. Gehrig popped it up. Davey Johnson there makes the catch, and there's one away. And here's a Bambling Bambino hitting .353, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs. On deck hitter is DiMaggio, followed by Mantle. Hoyles sets up the target. Palmer from the stretch, second and third, one out. Pitch to Ruth. And that is a strikeout for Ruth. So Palmer gets a big strikeout. And here's DiMaggio, 20 at-bats, a double, a triple, 2 RBIs hitting .250. So the Yankees trying to get a run here. Second and third, 2 outs. Hoyles with the target. Palmer with the stretch. Second and third, 2 out. Pitch to DiMaggio. And that is a pop line drive to Davey Johnson to end the game. End the inning. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. The Yankees unfortunately cannot score. Bottom of the first coming up. Yanks nothing. Orioles coming up the bat. Bottom of the first inning here at Memorial Stadium. For the Orioles, St. Louis Browns, George Sisler leading off, followed by Ripken and Singleton. Murray, Machado, Hoyles, Robinson, Johnson, Blair. Yankees defensively, all ones are sort of. Mantle, DiMaggio, Ruth is at 2 and right. Could switch that. Nettles at third, Jeter at short, Cano at second, Gehrig at first. Barra behind the plate. Whitey Ford is your pitcher. One of the few Yankees who came up unscathed in the first 5 starters. He's hitting so far. Ford, no record, first start, 6 innings and 8 hits. Sisler, boy, has he been one of the hottest hitters in baseball. 23 at-bats, 3 doubles, a triple, 3 RBIs, hitting .565. One of them, the modern quote-unquote hitters ever to hit 400. Hit .407 in 1920. Look at these numbers. 49 doubles, 18 triples, 19 homers, 122 RBIs, and even added 42 stolen bases. So he leads off against left-handed pitching. Barra puts down the target and Ford from the windup. And it's going to be a grab on a short. Jeter got him. See if he gobbles it. He throws. Got him, one away. So it gets the little quick Sisler out of there. And here's Cal Ripken. Ripken hitting .263. Home run, 6 runs batted in. The stance of Ripken standing straight up. Barra puts down the sign. And here's Ford from the windup and the deals. And that is going to be a base hit for Ripken. So Ripken's on. First hit for the Birds. Here is Kenny Singleton. Only 3 at-bats so far this year. No record. 1 walk on the year. Switch hitter batting from the right-hand side. Yeah, he mushed lefties this season. Gets the chance to play as your DH. Barra sets the sign. Ford from the stretch. Runner on first and 1 out. Pitch to Kenny Singleton. And Singleton a base hit. Ripken will go first to third. And the Orioles got it set up with 2 on and 1 man out. So here is Eddie Murray, the starting first baseman. 18 at-bats, 3 RBIs, hitting .278. Yankees will play the infield back, trying to get Murray to hit in 2. Whitey Ford struggling to get out of this one. Barra sets the target. Again, Ford from the stretch. The pitch to Murray. And that is a single for Murray. Ripken scores. Singleton stops at second. And the Orioles, with 3 hits, lead 1-0. That's been your problem when you play a league of all-stars. If you stay on the batter's card, every pitcher is going to get mushed one way or the other. Pitchers will hate me when this league is over. First and second one out, here's Manny Machado. 176, 17 at bats, a double. First and second one out. Whitey could use a double play here. 1-0 Orioles in the first. Barra puts down the sign. Ford from the stretch. First and second one out. Pitch to Machado. And that is a fly to left. Mantle is there. Makes the catch. And he got a big out. So now here is Chris Hoiles, one of the catchers that just had an absolutely insane year. 419 at-bats, 28 doubles, 29 homers, 82 RBIs, and hit a remarkable 310. He gets the start today. Hoiles, so far in the year, 20 at-bats, 2 home runs. Tough guy to get out. You want to stay off his card one way or another. It is loaded to bear. Barra sets down the sign. Ford from the stretch. Frank Robinson, no joke, on deck in the pitch. And that is going to be a line drive base hit for Hoiles. Singleton can only take third, and the Orioles have the bases loaded. So now here is Franklin Robinson, 294, 17 at bats, 2 homers, 4 runs batted in, bases loaded, 2 outs for the Birds. 1-0 Orioles. They've gotten 4 hits, and they have the bases loaded. Barrett goes out and talks to Ford, tries to calm him down. Whitey's not used to this, but this is an all-star lineup from top to bottom on both teams. Barra sets in the target. Ford from the stretch looking to work his way out of the first inning. Pitch to Frank Robinson. He got out of there. Catch X. Barra is a 2-7. He has a pop-up and made the catch. Barra with the catch ends the inning, and the Orioles strand them loaded. 1 run, they strand them loaded, 4 hits. It's 1-0 Baltimore as we played 1. Top of the second here from Memorial Stadium. It'll be Mickey Mantle, followed by Greg Nettles and Yogi Berra, the bat for the Yanks here in the second. Mantle hitting .316, 19 at-bats, a triple, 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. One of the most amazing switch hitters of all time. Will bat left-handed against Palmer. Hoiles puts down the target. Palmer with the windup and deals to Mantle. And that is going to be a ground ball to second. Davey's got in his glove, throws him out in time. Murray had to get it out of the dirt on that one. Johnson kind of threw a lollipop and almost went over his head. Here's Greg Nettles with 1 away. Struggling, 1 for 11, a double. He's been splitting some time with Red Rolf over at third base. Hoiles puts down the sign. Palmer with the windup. Here's the pitch to Nettles. And that is going to be a ground ball to first. Murray's got it. Waves off. Palmer, 2 away. Here's the catcher, Yogi Berra. 14 at-bats, home run, RBI. Splitting time with the amazing Elston Howard against left-handed pitching. So here's Berra. They saw 2 lefties and Dave McNally in the first game of the series. I don't think they had somebody else. Hoiles puts down a sign. Palmer with the windup. Here's the pitch to Barra, and that'll be a strike him out. He strikes the side. So we go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Baltimore. So here's Davey Johnson. He's only been up 4 times, 1 for 4 with a couple strikeouts. As Whitey Ford now goes on the mound, already a hefty pitch count through the first inning. Barra sets down the sign. Whitey Ford to the windup to Davey Johnson. And that's a ground ball to short. Jeter's got in his glove, throws, and out 1 away. So Jeter throws out Davey Johnson. There's 1 out. Here's the center fielder, Paul Blair. 222, 18 at-bats, 2 doubles, a home run, 4 RBIs. He's in there for his defense. You have a 1 playing center field, makes everything so much easier. Blair, one of the finer center fielders in baseball. Barra sets in the target. Whitey Ford, the big windup, and deals to Blair. And that will be a triple. Oh, that's a triple over DiMaggio's head off the top of the wall. Blair will go to second. He'll go to third in there. 1 out triple for Paul Blair. And now here's the dangerous George Sisler. Now with only 1 column of outs, do you walk around Sisler and maybe pitch to Ripken? But no, this Oriole team has 3 hitters coming back to back to back who really slammed left-handed pitching. Runner on third, 1 out. Yankees playing the infield back. They're willing to give up the second run to Baltimore here. Barra puts down the sign, and Ford from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Sisler. And Sisler, pop fly ball to right. Ruth's going to have a chance. Blair will throw. Got him. Oh, what a throw by Ruth. In the Barra makes the tag. It was the fly ball right field with the question mark, and which means you added +2, but Ruth with the gun and threw the 20 out on him. Barrett applied the tag, and he was dead duck. We played 2-1-0. That's your normal 9-2 double play. So now here in the top of the third, Yankees come up, being out hit by the Orioles so far, 5-2. Robinson Cano, don't you know, 5 for 10, a double home run, 4 RBI, splitting time with Willie Randolph, who plays against lefties. But there's this talk about Robinson having be probably getting more at bats versus the lefties. This is the year I took where he was actually an even hitter, lefties and righties. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer, the big windup, pitch to Cano. And Cano with a line drive in the gap. Blair will play the bounce. He'll throw it back in, and Cano stands with a double. So double for Robinson Cano, don't you know? And now here is Derek Jeter. Jeter's first at bat had a single. Runner on second, nobody out. Yankees again have a runner in scoring position. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer from the stretch. Runner on second, nobody out. Pitch to Jeter. And that is going to be a hit batsman. Jeter goes to first. 2 on, nobody out. And now here is Paul O'Neill. First and second, nobody out. O'Neill doubled his first time. Well, that was needed. He's been kind of struggling up there at the dish. Hoyles puts down the sign, and Palmer from the stretch. First and second, no outs. Yankees down a run. Here's the pitch to O'Neill. And that's a strikeout for O'Neill. There goes a Gatorade bucket. And now here's Gehrig. He's 0 for 1. Popped up his first time up, and his struggles continue here. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer working from the stretch. First and second, 1 out. Pitch to Gehrig. And that is going to be a walk to Gehrig, and the bases are loaded. Of course, you know the history. Jim Palmer never, ever, ever gave up a grand slam. And here comes the man, Mr. Ruth, number 3 in back of the uniform. Bases loaded, 1 out. Ruth struck out his first time up. Bases loaded, 1 out. Yankees here in the third. Hoyle sets up the target. Palmer working from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Ruth. And that will be a fly ball right field. Singleton's going to get a shot at it. Cano should score. And, oh, he does. Jeter will go for third. Here comes the throw. Not in time. Jeter will go to third. So now it's a 1-1 ball game. RBI sacrifice fly for the Bambino. 1 run on 3 hits for the Yankees. Time this up, and now here is Joe DiMaggio. Gets a shot, runs up first and third, 2 outs, the center fielder. Lined down his first time up, 21 at bats, has a double and a triples, knocked in 2. Hoyles puts down the sign, and Palmer from the stretch. Jeter taking a healthy lead off third. Here's the pitch to Jolton Joe. And that will be a pop to short. Ripken is there, makes the catch, and the Yankees strand 2. We go to the bottom of third. We're tied at 1. So bottom of third, franchise all-stars, Orioles, Yankees, 1-1. This is game 3 of the series. Dave McNally beat the Yanks in game 1 of the series, while the Yankees took the 5th game of the series. I believe they beat, I think it was Urban Shocker, because Shocker ended up going out with an injury, and the Orioles had to go to a bullpen game, but the game was amazing. It was like 14-11, as both teams combined for like 25 runs. So now here's Cal Ripken, 1 for 1, a run scored. Barra sets down the target. Ford with the windup. Here's the pitch to Cal, and that's a strike out for Ford, going away. Here's Kenny Singleton. He's 4 at bats, 1 for 4. He singled his first time up. Barra puts down the sign. Ford the windup. Here's the pitch, and that will be a catch. X makes the catch. He dropped the ball. Oh, he dropped the ball. Barra cannot believe it. Singleton will go off. No, it ends up being a foul ball in foul territory. So the at-bat continues. So he dropped the ball in foul territory. So the bat will continue. 1 out here in the third. Barra puts down the sign. Ford with the windup. Here's a pitch to Singleton. His at-bat has been continued. Base hit Singleton. He's 2 for 2. So now Whitey Ford will pitch to Eddie. Drink, eat, drink, and B. Murray. He has Singleton run his first time up. Murray comes off bench. Barra puts down the side. Ford again working from the stretch. Orioles have their 6th hit of the ball game. Singleton not much of a threat to steal. Runner on first, 1 out. Pitch to Murray. And that is going to be a base hit from Murray. Singleton will go first to third. And that error by Barra will set the Orioles up first and third, 1 out. And now here's Machado. So Ford has to get the young Machado here. First and third, 1 out. Orioles again. 7 hits through 2 1/3 innings. Barra puts down the side. Ford from the stretch. First and third, 1 out. Pitch to Machado. And that will be a ground ball double play. Cheater. Gehrig double play. 6-4-3. We go to the 4th game. Tied at 1. Tremendous double play. So top of the 4th here. Game tied at 1. Oh, doctor, 6-4-3 double play is what the doctor answered for. And what a job from Whitey Ford. Let's do a scoreboard check. So far, it is the Houston Astros leading the New York Mets 4-0. I believe that is Seaver and Mike Scott. It is the Tigers and the Giants in a great battle, 3-3. It is the Reds over the Indians, 1-0. Rays and White Sox, no score. Braves and Cubs 4-4. The Angels lead the Pirates 4-2. The Yankees will see the Angels next. Brewers, that is the Brewers and the A's, 0-0. Diamondbacks and the Marlins, no score. It is, no, that's actually the Diamondbacks and the Twins. The Twins lead 3-0. 7-0 lead. Cardinals over the Marlins. That Cardinal team is impressive. Royals lead the Phillies 2-1, while the Washington Nationals lead the Red Sox by 5-1. Toronto leads the Dodgers 2-0. While the Rockies lead the Rangers 7-1. That Rocky team is starting to impress a lot of people. That is a heavy duty offensive lineup. And then it is the Padres and the Mariners at 1. Top of the 4th, it's 1-1 score. Mantle followed by Nettles and Barra. Orioles puts down the sign. Palmer with the windup. Here's the pitch to Mick. And that is going to be a catch. Jack's pocket straight up. Coming over. No, he grounded out actually in front of the box. Hoyles gets up out in front of it. Throws a strike to Murray. Gets Mantle out for the first out. Here's Nettles. He grounded out his first time up. Hoyles puts down the sign. And Palmer looks in from the windup. Here's the pitch to Palmer. Leg kick. Fly ball center field. This is in front of Blair. Should make the catch. It's Shallow makes the catch. 2-away. So a little shallow fly ball to center field. 2 outs in the 4th. And here is Yogi. Yogi comes up 0 for 1. Struck out his first time up. Hoyles puts down the sign and Palmer looks in. Big, huge leg kick on the pitch to Barra. And that is a ground ball to first. Murray takes it back himself and Palmer has an easy inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning and it is 1-1. So a definite little bit of a duel here as both teams have had their chances, but they have not come through with the runners in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, 1-7 1-7-0 for the Orioles, 1-3-1 for the Yankees. The Yankees have left 3 men in scoring position. The Orioles have so far left 2. The Yankees are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position, while the Orioles are 2 for 6. So now here's Hoyles, will be followed by Robinson and Johnson, the bat in the 4th inning. Barra puts down the sign. Ford with the windup. Here's a pitch to Hoyles. And that is a deep drive left field. Mantle will play the bounce off the top of the wall. Hoyles will have 2. So another leadoff double for the Orioles. And here's Frank Robinson. So Frank Robinson's popped up his first time up. Ford now working again with his problems of leading, getting off hits. He's given up 8 hits in 3+ innings. Barra puts down the sign. Ford from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Robinson. And that is going to be a ground ball back to Ford. He gets it, looks back at Hoyles, throws a strike to Gehrig, and there's 1 away. Here is Davey Johnson. He's 0 for 1. Johnson grounded out his first time up. Barra puts down the sign. Ford from the stretch. Runner on second, 1 out. Pitch to Davey Johnson. And Johnson ground ball to third. Nettles will look Hoyles back, throws a strike to Gehrig, and there's 2 outs. So Ford fighting his way out of this. 2 outs in the fourth, and here's Paul Blair. Tripled his first time, a game tied at 1, 2 outs in the fourth. For Blair, that was his fourth extra base hit of the season. Barra puts down the sign. Ford from the stretch. Runner on second. 2 pitch to Blair. And that is going to be a ground ball on a short. Jeter's got it. Goes to first, and that ends the fourth. So the Orioles strand a runner in scoring position. We play 4. 1-1 is your score. So top of the fifth here at Memorial Stadium. Franchise All-Stars. Best of the Orioles taking on the best of the New York Yankees. Cano followed by Jeter and O'Neill. That will come to you as a left, right, left against the Orioles. Sounds like a good boxer. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer, the big right-hander so far, has given up 1 run on 3 hits. Here's the pitch to Cano. And Robinson Cano, don't you know? Ground ball to short. Ripken's got it. Throws him out. 1 away here in the fifth. So Palmer definitely pitching well. So here is Jeter. He's 1 for 1. He singled and got hit by a pitch, so he's been on twice. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer from the windup, and here's a pitch to Jeter. And that's a strikeout for Palmer. 2 outs in the fifth. Here is Paul O'Neill. 1 for 2, double in the first, struck out back in the third. O'Neill gets up with that stance. He gets set in there. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer looks in. Here's a big leg kick to O'Neill. And that is a fly ball to right. Singleton's there. Another Gatorade bucket is down the drain. Got him, retires aside. 3 up, 3 down for Palmer. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It is 1-1 here at Memorial Stadium. Orioles 1 run on 8 hits. The Yankees only 1 run on 3 hits. We play the bottom of the fifth inning. Here's George Sisler, followed by Ripken and Singleton. The bat for the Birds here in the fifth. Whitey Ford, his 5th inning of work. He went 6 his first start. Barra puts down the sign. Whitey Ford, the big windup, and pitch to Sisler. And that's a base hit for Sisler. Continues his hitting streak as his average continues to go through the roof. Runner on first and nobody out. Here's Ripken. Sisler does have a little bit of speed. Ford, an excellent move to first. Ripken, the bat. Let's see, maybe they may bunt with Ripken or maybe a hit and run. Barra puts down the sign. Ford working from the stretch. Runner on first, nobody out. Pitch to Cal. And that is a pop to third. Nettles calls up. Jeter makes the catch. And there's 1 away. Here's Kenny Singleton. 2 for 2 in the ball game. 5 at bats, nice 2 hits. So he's making the best of being the DH today. Runner, this is a universal DH league. Barra sets down the sign. Ford from the stretch. Here's the pitch with Sisler. Not first. And they're going to try to go for Sisler. Here's the throw. Got it. Good throw by Barra. Sisler trying to go to first, but Barra, strong throw down the Cano, lays the tag down. So big outs at first base. Big outs on the bases so far for the Orioles. 2 outs in the fifth, back at being a 1-1 game. Singleton's up with nobody on. And here we go. And here is Singleton, 2 for 2. So Singleton 2 for 2 in the fifth. He singled the first and singled in the third. Barra puts down the sign. Ford with the windup and pitch to Singleton. And that's a walk. So Ford, a 2-out walk. And now here's Eddie Murray, 2 for 2 with the Ribby. Ribby had a single in the first, knocked in a run, and a single in the third. Murray responsible for the only Oriole run so far. Barra sets down a sign. Ford from the stretch. 2-1 run on first and 2 out. Singleton not really a threat to steal. Gehrig playing off the back. Here is the pitch to Murray. And that will be a single for Murray. He's 3 for 3. Singleton will go first to third. And the Orioles got a 2-out rally. First and third Orioles. But now it brings up Manny Machado. Flying out, he ground out into a double play back in the third. Ford has gotten some serious double play help today. A ground out double play by Machado, and then they had a fly out double play that cost the Orioles a run at the plate as Ruth made a Ruthian throw. So 2 outs, runner first and third. Game tied. Orioles out hitting the Yanks 10-3. Berra puts down the sign. Ford from the stretch. First and third, 2 out. Pitch to Machado. And that is going to ground ball to third. Nettles has got it. Goes to first, and the Orioles will strand 2 more. Let's go to the 6th. We're tied at 1. Top of the 6th. 1-1 is your score. Gehrig followed by Ruth and DiMaggio. So again, 3 of the more iconic Yankees in history. They might as well have plaques. For him in Yankee Stadium, which they do. So Gehrig the batter, 0 for 1 with a walk. Will bat against Palmer here. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer, the big extended leg kick to Gehrig. And that is a line drive for Gehrig for a base hit. He's 1 for 2. Gehrig really needed that one. So now here's the Bambino, responsible for the only Yankee run of long sacrifice fly back in the 3rd inning. We have a tie, 1-1 score. Last top here in the top of the 6th and 1 out with nobody out. Hoyle sets the target. Palmer takes a deep breath from the stretch. The pitch to Ruth, and that is going to be all 6s. That's a fly ball to center. Blair is there, makes the catch. Gehrig comes in. Don't want to get those 6s as a DH, or that is an auto injury on the pitcher. Here's DiMaggio, 0 for 2, lined out and popped up. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer from the stretch. Top of the 6th, 1 out. Yankees trying to do something here in the 6th. Pitch to DiMaggio. And that's a single field. Will they send Gehrig? 1-13. They hold Gehrig up. Don't want to make it out of 3rd. First and 2nd with 1 out here in the 6th. So now here is the Mickey Mantle. He's 0 for 2, 2 groundouts. Here it comes with Hoyles, puts down the sign, goes over some options. Palmer from the stretch. First and 2nd round, pitch to Mantle. And here comes the pitch. Walked him, and again for the 2nd time today. Jim Palmer has never given up a grand slam home run, and here's Greg Nettles. Bases loaded, 1 out, tie game. Nettles 0 for 2, grounded down and flying out. The Orioles will play the infield back, trying to get a double play here. If Nettles can loft one in the air, this game is tied. As for arms, the Orioles have averaged 2 little bit better arms. Singleton and Blair are -1, while Frank Robinson is a +1. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer from the stretch. Bases loaded, 1 out, pitch to Nettles. And that is a pop to short. Nettles throws the bat down. Ripken with the play. And there is 2 outs. And back to Yogi Berra. Berra hitting .250. 16 at-bats, a home run, and 8 ribby. Boy, the Yankees can make a monumental change if they think they can do it. Don Mattingly would be an option here. And then he put Elston Howard, who's no slouch behind the plate. Berra kind of struggling with Palmer here. The Yankees are going to call back Berra. Oh, my goodness. They're going to call back Berra for Mr. Grand Slam Don Mattingly. So Mattingly will bat for the iconic Berra. Howard gets ready to come in behind the plate. And here is Mattingly. He's had a couple starts playing against left-handers of all things. He's 2 for 6. Home run and 2 RBIs against Palmer. Never gave up a grand slam home run. We're tied at 1. Orioles out hitting the Yanks 10-5. Hoyle sets up the target. Palmer working from the stretch with the bases juiced and 2 outs. Pitch to Mattingly. It is a ground ball to 2nd. Davey Johnson. Oh, tough play. Just throws in the dirt. Murray cannot dig it out. It's an E. 2-1 Yanks. E for Davey Johnson. So the Yanks take the lead on an unearned run. So Robinson Cano comes up. 1 for 2 with a double. Yankees take the lead on an unearned run here in the 6th inning. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer from the stretch. Robinson Cano, don't you know, is 1 for 2 in the ball game. Here's the pitch from Palmer. And that is going to be a ground ball to first. Murray takes to the bag and gets him. Yankees can only get 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 Yanks. So now Elston Howard will come in. So Howard will come in as the new catcher for the Yanks and stay in the 8th spot. Elston Howard gets a few seconds to get some Get some throws off, and now here comes Whitey Ford with his 8-pitch warm-ups. 2-1 Yanks, bottom of the 6th. Hoyles followed by Robinson and Davey Johnson try and make up for the error. The Yankees with now a 1 lead. You see more of these 10-9 games and not these 2-1 games, folks. Orioles will back. Hoyles, Robinson, Johnson. Right against Ford. Howard puts down the sign, and here is Whitey Ford. Give me one moment. Just checking things out. Ooh. And now here is Hoyles watching the Yankee game, watching the other stars. They kind of give highlights, and Joey Votto on the COVID list. So that thing is not going away, folks. So Howard puts down the sign. Ford with the windup. Here's the pitch to Hoyles, and that is a line drive in the gap, and Hoyles will have his second double against the wall. Runner on second, nobody out. Hoyles starts it off with a double. So runner on second for Orioles, and the Orioles again will start with the leadoff runner on. 2-1 Yanks, and here is Robinson. Franklin Robinson, 0 for 2, popped up and grounded out. They're in the 6th inning, nobody out. The iconic Yankee manager, whoever that might be, maybe Casey Stengel, they must have a brain trust in that dugout that is just awesome. The Yankees are going to go a righty, I think, so Whitey Ford may come out here in the 6th inning. That's how much the Yankees want this game. So let's see who can come out and get somebody out. Gehrig will come in. How about that? So Gehrig will come in the 6th inning, trying to get out Franklin Robinson and change some of these guys around the bat left-handed. So now Howard behind the plate puts down the sign. Gehrig from the stretch. Runner on second, nobody out. Pitch to Robinson. And that is a catch X. Howard is a 1-2. That's a ground ball. He takes in front of him, looks back, Hoyles, and throws a strike to Gehrig, one away. So here's Davey Johnson 0 for 2. So the Yankees may have micromanaged a bit there. Whitey Ford not happy with the situation. But the Yankees, I've looked at this. Their bullpen has not been good. And they need to get them work. They need to put them in great situations. And getting Ford out there with the lead here is important. Howard puts down the sign. Gehrig working from the stretch. Runner on second, one out. Pitch to Davey Johnson is a single to right field. Ruth will come up with it, and Hoyles will have to hold. Catcher speed will hold him at third base. First and third, one out. And now here's Blair. He's tripled and grounded out. So Gehrig now has to work tough. The Blair, first and third, one out, 2-1 Yankees. Howard puts down the sign. Gehrig trying to preserve the lead to Whitey Ford. From the stretches, Gehrig. Pitch to Blair. And that in the ground ball second. He got it, throws him out, and then runners. Oh, the runner scores. Oh, with the corners in. Cano could not make the play home, and the Orioles tie the game. So Gehrig not happy about that. That's a no decision again for Whitey Ford. So a 2-2 scores. Both teams manage to score a run here in the 6th. Here's Sisler. On deck is Ripken, and already they're pointing 4 fingers, and they will walk Sisler. So here's Ripken, definitely a much better hitter against left-handed pitching. First and second, 2 outs. Howard puts down the sign. They're not going to let the best player right now in the American League, George Sisler, beat him right now. Gehrig from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Ripken. And that is going to go against him. That's a shot in the gap. Let's see if they'll score. Sisler from second. DiMaggio has to throw in. They're trying to throw home. Here comes the throw. Not in time. Oh, throw was wide by DiMaggio. 4-2 Orioles. So Ripken makes them pay a 2-run double. So here's Kenny Singleton, 2 for 2. He's been on 4 times. He's been on twice a single. He's walked. And then he got a bat extended on a foul ball. Howard puts down the sign. Gehrig again slumping in there. Here comes the Gehrig from the stretch. And that is a line drive in the gap. Singleton will hit number 3. Ripken will score. DiMaggio gets it in. It's 5-2 Orioles. Oh, man. And the Yankees are making the next trip out west. They may make it without Gehrig coming out there with them. Gehrig has just not been himself. 5-2 Orioles. Howard puts down the sign. Gossage from the run. Howard with a trip. They score Singleton with a triple there. Gossage from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Murray. And that is going to be a single to left field. Score runner number 6. Orioles a 5-run 6th inning, and the Orioles lead at 6-2. Manny Machado now up. Howard puts down the sign. Gossage from the stretch. Pitch to Machado. And that is a fly single to center field. Holy cow, here comes Stengel. And that is a very short lease for the Goose. So they will go to one of their long men, Carl Mays, who pitched the last outing here. Mays comes in. He went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, a strikeout, and won the last game. Howard puts down the sign, and Carl Mays will work from the stretch. First and second, 2 outs. Yankees can use it out right now, and that's a single to center. Hoyles. Murray may try to score. Here comes the throw for Murray. Not in time, and the Orioles lead at 7-2. 6-run, 6th inning for the Birds. So here is Frank Robinson. That's how fast you can get hits and just take a team out. 7-2 Orioles here in the 6th. Howard puts down the sign. Frank Robinson is 0 for 3 so far. He's been up this inning and grounded out. Mays from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Frank Robinson. And that's a fly ball left field. Mantle makes the catch, and the Orioles score 6. We go to the 7th. It's 7-2 Orioles. So 7-2 Orioles in the 7th. The Yankees now need to try to come back from this. Palmer in his 7th inning of work. Orioles out hitting the Yankees 17-5. It was about due. When you get that many hits, you're going to take advantage of things. Jeter's been up twice, single and hit batsman. Palmer working the 7th inning, down by 5. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer, the big leg kick and delivery to Jeter. And that is a single for Jeter. He's 2 for 3. So Jeter continues to hop down. And here's O'Neill. This Yankee team doesn't give up. O'Neill 1 for 3 of the double. Hoyle sets down the sign now. Base hit number 6 for the Yanks. Palmer from the stretch and the pitch to O'Neill. And that is going to be a single for O'Neill. Jeter will stop at second. The Yanks got something going with no outs. And it brings up Murderer's Row. Lou Gehrig, 1 for 2 with a run scored. He's only hitting 100 on the season. Boy, a big hit by Gehrig can really go a long way. Hoyle sits on the sign. Palmer from the stretch. 2 on, nobody out. Pitch to Gehrig, and that's a single right out for Gehrig. Jeter will not score. They will load the bases again for the 3rd time today. Yankees down 5 for the Bambino. So 0 for 2 with the ribby for Ruth. He has struck out, sacrifice fly, and flied out. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer never giving up a grand slam. Again, a chance here. From the stretch, pitch to Ruth. Does he finally get one? No. Fly ball center. Blair's going to come in. Jeter will tag and score at 7-3. So another sacrifice fly for Ruth. 7-3 Orioles in the 7th. Here's DiMaggio. First and second, 1 out. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer from the stretch. Here's the pitch to DiMaggio. And that is going to be a base hit for DiMaggio. O'Neill will score. Gehrig go the 1st to 3rd. And the Yanks bring the tying run to the plate for the Mick. Mickey Mantle, 0 for 2 with a walk. Yankees 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Yankees trying to stay in this. They've now brought up the tying runs. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer from the stretch in the 7th inning. Pitch to Mantle. And that is going to be a ground ball to 3rd. That is Machado. Does he come up with it? No, he's not going to come up with this. It's going to be in the hole. Machado's way away the 1st, and the run will score. So a ground ball C allows all the runners to advance. It's 7-5 with the tying runner comes to the plate. 7-5, 2 outs in the 7th. Nettles 0 for 3. Another struggling Yankee. And they pulled the plug on some guys already. And they are going to go with Bobby Mercer. So Mercer will bat for Nettles. Lefty for another lefty. Mercer 1 for 4 on the season. Red Rolf would come into play 3rd for the Yanks. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer from the stretch. Runner on second, 2 out. Pitch to Mercer. And Mercer on a walk. And the Yankees actually bring the tying runs and go ahead run to the plate for Mr. Elston Howard, who is 2 for 6 on the year with an RBI. Big Ellie, first and second, 2 outs. Orioles puts down the sign. Palmer working from the stretch. First and second, 2 out, pitch to Howard. And that is going to be a strikeout for Palmer. He finally gets out of it. Yankees score 3. It's 7-5 Orioles in the 7th. Red Rolf comes in and plays third for the Yanks. So now the Yankees going to have to, we'll stay with Carl Mays. Along with Bob Shockey, Yankees have got some tremendous work from their inner relief guys. Not their short relief. Short relief's gotten hurt. So Howard behind the plate. Mays looks in. Here's the pitch to Davey Johnson. And that is a ground ball to short. Jeter throws him out. And there's one away. Here's Blair. 1 for 3 of the triple. Howard puts down the sign. Mays with a big wideout pitch to Blair. And that is going to be a blind drive right at Gehrig. 2 outs in the 7th. So Carl Mays doing the job again. Here's Sisler. 1 for 3 runs scored. That intentional walk back in the 6th inning backfired as Ripken knocked in 2 the next time up. Howard behind the plate. Carl Mays looks on. Here's the pitch to Sisler. And that's going to be a fly ball to center. DiMaggio there makes the catch. And we played 7. 7-5 Orioles. We go to the 8th. So in the 8th inning now, in a tremendous battle between two of the franchise's best teams, Cano followed by Jeter and O'Neill. Cano 1 for 3 has a double back in the 3rd inning. Palmer working the 8th inning. Hoyles puts down the sign in Palmer for the big windup pitch to Cano, and that's a fly ball to center. Blair is there, makes the catch, and there's one away. Jeter 2 for 3 to run scored. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer, the big leg kick to Jeter. And Jeter, ground ball to short. Dead rolled them. Ripken will throw, and there's 2 outs. Here's Paul O'Neill, 2 for 4, 2 hits today and a double, bringing that average up. Hoyles puts down the sign. Palmer looks in, and the pitch. And again, so again, Palmer looks in from the windup. Here's the pitch to O'Neill. And that is going to be a line drive caught by Dave Johnson and ends the inning. O'Neill thought he had one, but Dave Johnson with the play. We now go to the 8th. It is 7-5 Orioles. So now, bottom of the 8th, Mays need to keep the Orioles where they're at. Here is Ripken, Singleton, and Murray. Ripken doubled in 2 his last time up. So now Howard puts down the sign. Mays with a windup. Here's the pitch to Ripken. And that's a line drive at Jeter, 1 away in the 8th. So here's Singleton, 3 for 3. He's been on base 4 times. 2 hits, a triple, and a walk. Howard puts down the sign. Carl Mays, another great relief stance for the Yanks here. Here's a pitch from Mays. Ground ball to short. Jeter with the play, and there's 2 outs. So here's Murray, been the star so far. 4 hits and 2 runs batted in. 7-5 Orioles, 2 outs in the 8th. Howard sets down the sign, and Mays with the windup and pitches to Murray. And that is a fly ball center. DiMaggio there makes the catch, and we head to the 9th. 7-5 Orioles. And pitching is now New York Yankees, Zach Britton. He had that fantastic year. 2-1, 47 saves, .54 ERA. In this year, he's pitched 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, 6.75 ERA. So a tough situation. He'll pitch to Gehrig, Ruth, DiMaggio, left, right against Zach Britton. 7-5 Orioles. Hoyles puts down the sign, and Britton looks in. Here's the pitch to Gehrig, and that is going to be a ground ball to second. Johnson throws him out, and there is 1 out. Here's Ruth. 0 for 2, 2 sacrifice flies, 2 ribbies. Hoyle puts down the sign. Britton with the windup. Here's the pitch to Ruth. And that is a goner deep to right field. That's gone. Blair looks up. Out of here. 7-6 Orioles. That is a long home run for the Babe. It's 7-6 Baltimore. And the Yanks are run closer. Here's DiMaggio, 2 for 4, the RBI. So now Britton's getting up a long ball here. Again, relievers don't get spared here. Orioles puts down the sign. Britton from the white appears to pitch to DiMaggio. And that is a ground ball to short. Let's see if Ripken can come up with it. Throws him out, and there's 2 outs. So now comes up to another iconic Hall of Famer, Mickey Mantle. He'll turn around, bat right-handed against Britton. Yankees down a run, trailing 7-6, being out-hit 17-10. Britton from the windup appears to pitch to Mantle. And that is going to be a fly ball to center. Blair makes this catch. It's over. Makes the catch. And the Orioles go on and win it 7-6. Let's give you 5 numbers here. So the Orioles win it 7-6. Orioles started with a run in the first. Yankees had a run in the first. Then the Orioles exploded for 6 in the 6th after the Yankees scored 1 in the 6th. Orioles led 7-2. Yankees fought back 3 in the 7th, 1 in the 9th. Orioles out-hit the Yankees 17-10, both teams with errors. Gossage takes the loss. I have a feeling he's going to be on his way down somewhere. 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned. He just did not have nothing. So winning is for 1 8 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, and 4 earned. Britton 1 inning, 1 hit, gets to save his first. Doubles by O'Neill, Cano, Ripken, Hoyles had 2. Triples by Singleton and Blair, and big home run balls by Babe Ruth had his 5th of the season. For the Yankees, multiple hit attacks. Jeter, O'Neill, and Gehrig all had 2 hits. DiMaggio with 2 hits, so a big 2-hit attack by Gehrig is going to help. For the Orioles, Murray doubles it, 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs, had the big one. Hoyles 4 for 4, while Singleton went 3 for 4, and Ripken went 2 for 5. Sisler extended his hitting streak, 1 for 4 with a run scored. He's hitting a very raunchy .519. Orioles were 17 of 38, 7 runs scored, 7 RBIs. The Yankees 10 for 36, 6 runs scored, 5 RBIs. The Orioles win it by the score of 7-6. Ford only went 5 innings, but he gave them a ton of hits, high pitch count. 11 hits, 2 runs, and 2 earned. So the Orioles win this one. They go to 4-2. Yankees will drop 1 and go to 2-4. The Yankees will now make their long trip out west to the Oakland, to Los Angeles, to Anaheim, and play the Angels. Here's their pitching staff. We'll see if anything will show any of these games. I'm kind of playing some of these games offline and seeing what's available to me. Mel Stoudemire will take on Frank Tanana in the opener. Second game, Ron Gehrig against Mike Witt. And then in Wednesday's game, Wade Hoyt will take on Andy Messersmith. All 3 quality matchups. Yankees will fly home and then play the tremendous Oakland Athletic franchise starting next Friday night. So these games will not get any easier. In case you're wondering, I'm going to do an RJL type. Top 3 teams make the playoffs since we have so much talent and girth. So we can never get that far. We'll see where we are. But I think that's what I want to do and have more playoff teams. So here we go. The Orioles are in first place, 4-2. They're 2 up on the Yankees, Red Sox. The Jays are 3 back, and Tampa Bay is 3.5 back. It is the Kansas City Royals leading the Central by, they're actually tied with the White Sox, while the Twins are 1 back, Cleveland 2 back, and Detroit 3 back. The A's are in first place, 1 ahead of the Angels. We'll see them next. They're 3-3. The Braves lead the Mets by 2 games. The Braves, I believe, are the only Major League franchise at 6-0 as undefeated. Mets are 4-2. Nationals are 3-3. Miami 3-3. Philadelphia 3-4. Cardinals are 4-2. They're in first place with the Reds, who are 4-2. Rockies are 5-1, surprising a lot of people. They are 1 ahead of the Dodgers, who are 4-2. Folks, thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming in. This has been Sports Time Machine's Major League Franchise All-Star Rosters as we are watching this history unfold. Thank you, folks. Have a good rest of the night, and we'll see you again for